Hello everyone, my name is Michael and welcome to another episode in this Puppeteer tutorial series where I will show you how you can deploy your Puppeteer script to Heroku for free. By the way, I will do the same for the Selenium series and I will probably do the same thing but with AWS Lambda functions. And that's because the deployment is different, but also you have to make some changes in order to work with Lambda functions. So yeah, let's get started. So the first thing I'll do is go on my folder, go on terminal and type npm init-y. Basically create a template. So let's do code dot. So in order to figure out if our Puppeteer script is working after we deploy it, because there's no way of seeing the browser live, what we will do is create a node server and then run the Puppeteer script every time we send a HTTP request. And then if the Puppeteer returns a successful request with some data, then we know it works. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So first of all, let's do index.js and let's install Express. So let's do npm express and then Puppeteer as well. By the way, if you just want to see the deployment, I'll most likely have some timestamps so you can go straight to the deployment, and also I'll show you both GitHub and Heroku CLI methods. It's best to see the whole video just in case you miss something, because most likely the Puppeteer script you are using currently misses some critical settings for it to work with Heroku. Okay, so first of all, what I'll do is create an Express server. So for that, let's go on npm and get a template, or yeah, we can use that. Thank you very much. Yeah, by the way, shout out to grepper, as every time you search something, it gives you snippets of code, and like that I can copy paste without going on the actual page or searching for the answer. So yeah, thank you very much. Now here is where we will use our Puppeteer. So again, let's go Puppeteer npm, get an example. Thank you very much. And there we go. Now instead, we'll do this. Thank you. Let's import Puppeteer on the start. There we go. And then on example.com, instead of taking a screenshot, I would like to get some elements, some text elements. So let's do inspect. Let's get the selector. There we go. Dot $evaluate. Then let's do h1 because it is already h1, and then let's get the text content, not inner text. There we go. And let's say this, or basically text is equal to that. And then on our response, let's do res.send text. There we go. Okay, so the settings we need to pass is right here on the .launch. So first of all, we have to pass some arguments, and we have to pass no sandbox. So we are not running in sandbox, and we also disable the set UID sandbox. Perfect. Now, the next thing you want to do is create a proc file. Proc file. And then here, we will specify how to run this script. So web equals to node index.js. And yeah, that's it. Now let's go ahead and go in Heroku. Let's create a new app. Let's name our app, let's say Puppeteer, and then like random numbers. Okay, lowercase. There we go, create an app. Okay, so let's download now Heroku CLI. So to download it, click this link. and follow the installation process. For Windows, there is another method. I'm using Mac, so you can copy paste this method in terminal. So this command in terminal, and this will download Heroku. Now I have already downloaded it, so I'll not run it. By the way, there's a warning here currently, so it says the Windows installers display a warning titled Windows protected your PC to some users. So to run this installation, when this warning shows, click more info and then verify the publisher as salesforce.com and then run anyway. And yeah, just pointing that out, just saw it as well. Okay, so let's go back, and here you just follow every step. Let's go here, let's do Heroku login. Now press any key to open the browser. Then I'll click login, and because I'm already logged in on my browser, I don't have to actually type my email and password, but in case you are not logged in, you will type it. Then again, let's follow the other commands. So cd to my projects, well, you don't have to do that because in the terminal we are already in our project, but in case you are not, then make sure to go to your project. With Mac, it's really simple. Just go in your folder, go outside your folder, right click and then click services and then new terminal tablet folder or the new terminal folder, and this will open the terminal for that folder. Then again we follow the steps, so git init. There we go, so we just initiated a Git repository. Then we will basically copy this command again, so we can remote to the Heroku Git. And then just copy paste these commands. Now I just want to point something out. Whenever you make a change on your code, well, to be able to see the changes live, you have to redeploy the changes. So how you do that is, like the first time, you just copy paste those three commands: git add dot, git commit, and then git push. And this will redeploy the changes. And yeah, that's it. So let's do that. So let's copy paste. Again, copy paste. Now, by the way, here you can specify what changes you made and keep it simple. So we will say initial deployment in this case, or you can leave it empty, like it doesn't really matter because this is not GitHub, so you don't really utilize the commit messages, but it's good to have them. So yeah, let's do that. There we go. Okay, so I forgot to do something. So we have to make a file.ignore and specify here node modules, because we don't want to deploy node modules. Neither we want to deploy the package-log.json. So make sure you do that. What we will do is go to Finder. Let's do shift command dot. There we go. One more time. There we go. And let's remove git because we accidentally committed the node modules. And then let's do git add dot again. Now, actually, there is a better method to do it. Like you can run a command to revert that commit, but because most of you are probably beginners, I don't want to go into that. So let's do it again. Actually, first do git init. Basically, we will run all the commands again besides Heroku login. And actually, it doesn't really matter if you do it this way, or if you have made multiple changes and then you remove the git and reinitiate it, it doesn't really matter. So let's do it again, because again you are not using GitHub. So yeah, that's it. And there we go. So now it will start deploying the app after it deployed to Heroku Git, and this will take a minute to a few minutes, depends on how big your app is. And also By the way, Heroku has a limitation to 500 megabytes, so yeah, have that in mind. And my simple app already uses 170 megabytes. Now, one thing I want to mention is that there is a Puppeteer called Puppeteer Core, which is a lot lighter. But again, this is just an example. But have that in mind. So if your app is using more than 500 megabytes and you are having an error, what you can do is instead of Puppeteer, use Puppeteer Core and it will probably solve your issue. If not, leave a comment down below or join our GitHub server, which I'll link down in the description, and we can help you solve that problem. Okay, so let's continue. So as you saw, there is it. So what I'll do now is copy the URL, paste it, and now, okay, what? Actually, there's a few things we have to do. So first of all, let's go on resources. Let's go on edit right here. Actually, okay, so never mind, we don't have to do anything here because it's already registered, so we don't have to do that. But if you are using a proc file with a different naming than web, then it will show it here. So make sure you click edit and then turn this on and click confirm. Just make sure you do that. And also another thing I forgot to do, download a Heroku build pack which supports Puppeteer. So to do that, let's use this command, Heroku BUILDPACKS clear. And then this command which downloads the Puppeteer Heroku build pack, which I will leave those commands down in the description so you can just copy paste them. And then download the Heroku build pack for Node.js. Okay, so as you see, it says git push Heroku main to create a new release. So in order for those build packs to take an effect, we have to push again. Okay, not main, master. By the way, right here I was checking Stack Overflow, and as you see, one of the authors right here that gave an answer has a real cool example right here. So as you see, it does app.get and then it creates a page, an empty page for a value, and then it has a try catch. And that's really good because sometimes Puppeteer might fail to create a page. So it's good to catch and then send a 500 status error and then close the page in case that happens. So you can use this example as well, just have that in mind. But I'm trying to keep it simple, so that's why I didn't go into that. Okay, so let's refresh our page. Still nothing. Okay, interesting. So let's copy paste this command and see what we get. Okay, so we have to go back and we have to make this function asynchronous in order to be able to await. Here, we have to accept as the port that Heroku will give us. So it might be not 3000, it might be something else. So we'll do process.env.port. And yeah, let's redeploy again. So we'll do git add. And let's do git commit dynamic port. And then git push. Heroku master. Okay, so let's go back, refresh the page. And then now, there we go. So we got example domain. Now, for GitHub, it's really easy. As long as you have your Git connected, basically all you have to do now is deploy your code on GitHub. And yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So let's go on github.com. Let's create a new repository. Let's make it public. Let's name it Puppeteer Heroku. And let's create the new repository. Then, because we previously used Heroku Git, we have to remove the .git from Heroku Git. And then we will basically copy most of the commands, not all of them. So git init, git add the dot, git commit first commit, git remote add, basically connect our git, local git with the GitHub Git, and then push on master, not main. Let's do master. And there we go. So I did git push -urg master, and now if you go back on here, back on GitHub, there you go. This is it. Now what we will do is go back on Heroku. And by the way, if you just get immediately to GitHub, then you probably missed some things I fixed while I used Heroku CLI. So first thing I did is added the .git ignore, and I probably also created the profile. Then I added the process.env.port right here. Then I also made the function asynchronous, and I think that's it. And also, which I'll show you again, is I added a build pack. But either way, I'll create a new app now. So let's go here, new, create a new app. This time we'll do Puppeteer, GitHub, method, and then a random number. And let's do create an app. Now this time we will use GitHub. But before we do that, can we go on settings? There we go, add build pack. And now this time, instead of using the terminal, I'll copy paste the BUILDPACKS URL immediately here. So let's go here, copy paste it, save changes. There we go. And also add BUILDPACK and then use Nodejs. Perfect. And that's it. So let's go back and deploy. And here we will connect to GitHub. If it's your first time, you will have to verify, but it's not my first time, so I don't have to do that. And then here, I'll type my repo, so it is Puppeteer. And you don't have to type the whole thing. And there we go, connect. And that's it. Now what you can do here, if you are using GitHub, is you can enable automatic deploys. So every time you push a change in GitHub, it will automatically deploy the changes. And also you can choose which branch to deploy. So we will do master. And if it's your first time, you have to deploy it automatically. So let's go ahead and do that. And it will start deploying. Now another thing I said while using Heroku CLI is that you can use Puppeteer-core. And this will make basically the Puppeteer lighter, because if we go on settings, the slug size here, it can be a maximum of 500 megabytes. And by default, just my simple application is about 170 megabytes. So yeah, just have that in mind. And I think that's it. So if we go open up, not yet. Okay, so it's building currently. So if you accidentally leave, what you can do is go on overview, and as you'll see, it says build in progress. So you can see right here if your application is currently building, and click view build. But you see build succeeded, so let's refresh the URL. And if we wait for a couple of seconds, there we go, example domain. So that's it. Now, if you're interested in doing that with Selenium or with AWS Lambda for both Selenium and Puppeteer, let me know down in the comments, but either way, I'll do a video soon. But if you leave a comment, I'll probably do it sooner. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I'll really appreciate if you hit the like button and subscribe. and see you in the next video.